all and welcome back to my YouTube channel Physics Unlocked. I hope you are all having a fantastic day. So let's begin with the new video. So students, in this series we will guide you through preparing for the Mdcat and Ecat exams focusing on physics. We will outline the key topics you need to cover and provide valuable insights on how to approach your preparation. Join us as we break down the physics syllabus and help you develop a comprehensive study plan to achieve success in your exams. So the topic which you need to cover is motion and force, work, energy and power, circular motion, waves, thermodynamics, electrostatics, current electricity, electromagnetism, electromagnetic induction, electronics, dawn of modern physics, atomic spectra and nuclear physics. And you already have started these topics in your intermediate classes. So to successfully answer multiple choice questions on the topic of motion and force, it's essential to review the following key concepts. Motion in one dimension, motion graphs, for example, position time graph, velocity time graph. You already have studied these graphs in your intermediate. Newton's law of motion, law of conservation of momentum, elastic and inelastic collision, projectile motion. By revising these fundamental concepts, you will well prepared to tackle multiple choice questions on motion and force with confidence. So let's begin solving multiple choice questions. Okay, so students, the first MCQ is the velocity time graph for a moving body is shown. What is the acceleration of this body? So if you can see from this graph, it's a velocity time graph. On x-axis there is a time and on y-axis there is a velocity. And if you can see from this graph, when the time is 1 second, the velocity is 2 meters per second. When the time is 2 seconds, the velocity is 4 meters per second. And when the time is 3 seconds, the velocity is 6 meters per second. It's meter per second, okay? And when the time is 4 seconds, the velocity is 8 meters per second. If you can observe, there is an equal increment in velocity, means the equal change in the velocity as the time is increasing. So you must have studied that the slope of velocity time graph gives you what it gives you. It gives you acceleration. Very good. It gives you acceleration. So because it is moving, the change is constant. So you can say it's a definition of uniform acceleration, that constant change in velocity over a given time period. So what is the acceleration of the body? So the acceleration is constant. So B option is correct here. Okay. So this is the second MCQ, a car start. Okay, this MCQ is sort of a numerical, it's a short numerical, so we are going to make a data along with it. So a car at rest starts moving with uniform linear increasing velocity. So the initial velocity is 0 because the car is at rest. After 20 seconds, so the time is 20 seconds, it attains the maximum velocity of 80 meters per second. So the final velocity is given as 80 meters per second. What is the distance covered during this time? And you have to find the distance. So if you recall your previous concept, that we can use 3 equations of motion here, and only 2 equations of motion contain the distance, which is the second and third equation of motion, and both equations has the acceleration in it, which is unknown here. So first of all, we have to find the acceleration, and after that we can use any of equation to find the distance. So for A, we are going to use the first equation of motion, which is Vf equals to Vi plus AT. So Vf is 80 and Vi is 0 plus acceleration is unknown, and the time is wait a minute students, and the time is 20. So when you divide 20 by 80 divided by 20. So acceleration will be 4 meter per second square. Now if you substitute all the values in any second or third equation of motion, you can easily find the displacement. So the third equation, we are going to use the third equation of motion. 2as is equals to vf square minus vi square. 2, the a is 4, displacement is unknown, vf is 80 square minus vi is 0 square in a bracket. So when you calculate s from here, so it will be 800 meter. So which option is correct? Yes, the C option is correct here. MCQ number 3. The range of the projectile will be maximum when 2 theta is equivalent to what? So you have studied the formula of range of the projectile, that V naught square sine 2 theta upon g. V naught is the velocity, and you have to find what should be the angle over here that it gives you the maximum range. So we know that sine becomes maximum when the angle is 90 degree. So when 2 theta is equivalent to 90 degree, means theta is 45 degree. If you substitute 90 degree over here, so sine 90 gives you value equivalent to 1. So the range will become V naught square over g. So it will become the maximum at the angle of 90 degree. So this is the correct answer. If the initial velocity of the projectile is doubled, then the maximum height of the projectile will be. Okay, they are asking that if the initial velocity of the projectile is doubled, then what should be the height? We know that the formula of the height is V naught square sine square theta upon 2g. And if they are saying if this velocity, the initial velocity is doubled, then what will be the change in the height? So if I calculate the new height, let's say h prime, and the V naught, the value of the V naught is the twice of V naught. So it will become 2 V naught square sine square theta upon 2g. If I solve this, 2 square is 4, V naught square sine square theta upon 2g. And if you can see, this is the again formula of height, so it will becomes 4 times h. So it increases 4 times. MCQ number 5. Which of the following angle pairs would have equal range? So you must have studied that all complementary angles which sum up to 90 degree have equal range. Which sum up to 90 degree have equal range. So if you could find out the pair which sum up to 90 degrees, so they will be known as the complementary angles, and all the complementary angles have equal range. So the correct answer is B. A car accelerates from rest. From rest means the initial velocity is 0 meter per second, and if it is accelerating, the acceleration is given that acceleration is 4 meter per second square. What is the velocity of the car after 4 seconds? After 4 seconds, it means the time is given 4 seconds. You have to find the velocity. It's a very easiest you can say multiple choice question. You can use the first equation of motion, which is VF equals to VI plus AT. So VF is unknown, VI is 0 plus 4 into 4. So 4 into 4 is 16. So correct answer is 16 meter per second. Water having volume flow rate meter cube volume per unit time is given, strikes a perpendicular flat surface with 3 meter per second. The velocity is given again. What is the force exerted by the water on the surface? You have to find force. The formula of force is F is equivalent to ma, but according to my data, only two things are given to me, that is the volume flow rate and the velocity. So I can transform my formula. Like I know that the acceleration is velocity per unit time, so it will become mv over t. Now the only known thing is only velocity. The mass per unit time is still unknown, so we can do one thing. We only know one quantity, that is volume flow rate. So how we can write volume flow rate? You can see from the unit of this unit, it can be written as volume flow rate can be written as volume per unit time, which is measured in seconds. If I multiply volume flow rate with the density of water, which is 1000, okay, so what is the formula of the density? It's mass per unit volume. Then these two quantities, volume into volume, will cancel out, so the remaining thing will become is mass per unit time, yani ki seconds. So when you multiply a volume flow rate with the density of water, so the only remaining thing will become the mass per unit time, which is the quantity which I need. So I can do one thing. The value of volume flow rate is 0.03. It will be multiplied with the 1000. So the answer will become, yes, calculated. Yes, very good. The answer will become 30 kg per second. So when you substitute it here 30 and the velocity is 3, so the answer will become 90 Newton. So the correct option is C. A ball is released vertically downward from a height of 19.6 meter. So there is a height which is a 19.6 meter, and a ball is released from here. So you have to find that how much time is required by the ball to reach the ground. So the height, which is a vertical distance, is given 19.6 meter. How much time is required? So you have to find the time. And when the ball is dropped from the height, the initial velocity is 0 meter per second at a particular moment. So you can take, because it's a case of free fall, so you can take acceleration as acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.8 meter per second square. So in order to find the time, you can use second equation of motion, because second equation of motion contain all the parameters that is given in the data. So the second equation of motion is S equals to VIT plus half AT square. If I transform this equation according to my data, so it will be the height VIT plus half GT square, and VI, because initial velocity is 0, so this term will be omit. So H is 19.6 is equivalent to half G is 9.8 T square. So first of all, you will divide 9.8 by 2. So when you divide 9.8 by 2, so it is very easy, but you have to remove this decimal. So here we get a 0. So after cancellation, it will become 2 4s are 8. 1 second. 2 4s are 8 and 2 9s are 18. And it's a 10 here. So when I put a decimal back, so it will become 4.9. So the equation will become 19.6 is equivalent to 4.9 T square. And when you divide 19.6 by 4.9, then 19.6 divided by 4.9, then these decimal can be removed because they are at equal places. So it will be 196 divided by 49. And if you calculate, or if you call the table of 49, then 49 multiplied by 4 gives 196. So you can cancel out it easily. So the t square will be 4, and when you remove this square, then there will be a root over here. So t will be 2 seconds. So the correct answer is 2 seconds. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay updated on my latest uploads. I appreciate your support and can't wait to share more exciting content with you.